Hello and welcome to our monthly video. My name is Corey Davidson and I'm joined here with Peyton and Yaila. And if you have not tuned into us before, we do 3 different modalities of readings. So I do the intuitive astrology reading for the collective, and Yaila does a collective energy reading, and Peyton does gives us a message from the Pleiadians. So enjoy this video, and let's start with Peyton. Would you like to start us off?
I would love to. Thank you so much, Corey. It's always lovely to see you girls and check in on what is heading our way in the June energies. So when I checked in with the Pleiadians, what they had for us was to let us know that June is going to be a very energetically active month. And that is probably not a surprise to you. Most of us are feeling this in our bodies right now. But the energies that we are moving into in June are going to be very fast. So we are going to be moving very quickly along and in the direction of our soul path. In particular, many of us are going to be moving to the next level of our soul missions, what we're here to do. And for a lot of us, that is really exciting. So the Pleiadians wanted us to understand that in the June energies, we are going to have opportunities to make what they call quantum leaps in consciousness. And that always gets my attention. It sounds like something that we have been waiting for. But they wanted us to know how we take advantage of these openings. And they said that the most important thing for us to understand in the June energies is that to take some of these big jumps in consciousness, we've got to let go of 3D. So June is going to be all about cutting ties with 3D. And the more we are anchored into the old systems, the old structures, our old way of life as humans, all of these distractions operate as anchors to 3D. They tie us there. So it's like hitting the emergency brake. The more we continue to invest our time, our energy, our attention in these denser storylines, in denser systems and structures. So what the P's wanted us to understand is some of the ways that we are getting kind of pulled into these 3D storylines without realizing it. And so some of the things that they're talking about when they mention that it's important for us to start cutting 3D ties is cutting those ties with those 3D systems. So if we are always glued to our phone, if we are always glued to news stories, to social media, to our new toy, which is AI, all of these are systems that are rooted, based in separation. And that's really all 3D is. But the more we are feeding these systems and structures with our time, our money, our energy, we are anchoring ourselves to the 3D grid because these are 3D structures. They are designed to put us in separation. And that was their function. Nothing wrong with that. But most of us are looking to move beyond that. So the June energies are going to be all about reevaluating how much time we are investing in 3D systems and structures because they are putting an emergency brake on our opportunities to expand our consciousness. So basically, they keep us anchored to the old grid. Because as the P's like to say, you can't move onto the new consciousness grid if you are clinging to the old grid. You gotta make a choice. You gotta pick a lane. And so the June energies are going to be focusing on this to give us the opportunity to use our discernment about what we are choosing to give our attention to, because that is where we are putting our energy. So the P's wanted us to understand that our ascension is a personal process. We control the speed of it. And one of the big ways we do that is by how much we continue to cling to the old systems. So in June, we're going to have the opportunity to start cutting ties with some of these denser systems and structures. So basically, the P's wanted us to know that the old stuff can't go with us. So that is something that is going to be very much at the forefront in the June energies. It's time, as the P's are saying, to de-anchor from 3D. Because the more we are invested in the old way of doing things, the more we keep those 3D collective contracts alive. So we keep ourselves in 3D energies longer than necessary. So it's something that the P's wanted to bring our attention to in the June energies and encourage us to start stepping back from anything that we don't want to see continuing in the future. Now, I always like to ask the P's, what can help us move through these energies more comfortably? Because as we've noticed, as the energies are really ramping up, a lot of us feeling a little beat up in the body. So what the P's suggested would be helpful to us in the June energies is to take advantage of sunlight. They say the sun is a huge partner in our ascension journey. And so the sun is giving us valuable codes, valuable downloads. So you may notice in the June energies that you are very pulled to enjoy some sunshine. It will also help us, according to the Pleiadians, move through the June energies to stay hydrated. These energies can be very dehydrating, the ones that are hitting the planet right now. And we may have a need for more electrolytes to help flush the energies through our system. So those are some things that can be helpful for the body as we move through the June energies. And also we can be helpful to spend more time in nature and to gently move our bodies. So whether that is walking, yoga, swimming, just something that is gently moving the body, the Pleiadians say that will help us move these just very intense energies through our bodies more comfortably. So June is going to be all about cutting ties with 3D and about turning up our discernment. Where are we placing our energy, our focus, our time? Because that is what we're creating and carrying into our future. So that is what the P's had for us in the June energies. Yaila, what are you getting when you just read the collective?
Thank you so much, Peyton. And gotta love that the Pleiadians were telling us that our abilities are going to be heightening. So I love that. That's always exciting. So if you've tuned into our videos before, I tap into the collective live as we record. So I will have my eyes closed from time to time for this collective reading. So let me just tap into your energy for those of you tuning in. And I always like to ask for a blessing. Creator of all that is, please bring forth the information and energy, any healing for your highest and best good. Please guide me with clarity and accuracy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm getting a couple colors for the collective. I'm getting this peachy color and a yellow color. So let me just tap into those. Interesting. When I'm asking what the peach color is for, the word that they gave me was opulence. And I don't know if I've ever gotten that word for peach when I'm looking at someone's energy. So let me just kind of see why they're bringing that in. It feels like the energy for the month of June, there's going to be a lot of energies that you get to play and work with. There's going to be an opulence of energy, an overflow of energy. And similar to what Peyton was sharing, where you focus is going to be very key, because it's very easy to pigeonhole yourself into a certain category when all the energies are just growing and expanding in that one particular area. So that can be, pros and cons to that, depending on where you are letting your energy focus. And the yellow color I was getting was more connected to our third chakra. So it's what we are doing. It's how we are spending our time, how we're spending our energy. And the yellow color can also tie into possible competition energy. So feeling like you either have to compete with other people, yourself, what society is telling you to do. So these are some energies that are going to be kind of running as a theme for the month of June. I always like to ask, what is helpful to know for the month? And this will be for June 2025. What's helpful for you, the collective, to know? What they're saying is you are here to figure it out as you go along. So the energies we are stepping into, coming from older energy, there was almost like a way to do things to find success, right? You get married at a certain age, you buy a house, you have a car, you have whatever kind of job, you retire at that job, and it kind of had the structure of how to do life. What we're being guided to really step into for June is we are figuring it out as we go. So you are going to notice energetically what feels in alignment for you and what doesn't. So much more so than you've probably landed with before. So you've dabbled in this, and I want to say last month the guides were saying that your discernment is going to get more and more strong. You're just going to have a clear knowing of what works and what doesn't. And this is going to be your guide for figuring it out as you go, because what might make sense on paper does not make sense for you anymore energetically to what you are aligning to. So the energy for June is not something to follow a rule book, but it's really following your energy. What is that energetic yes? What is that energetic no? Easy way to tell is what feels light and exciting and just brings out your natural curiosity to expand on versus what feels tight, what feels closed off, what feels controlling, what feels restricting, that you naturally kind of want to push away. The energy doesn't lie. Our brains can make up a lot of different things, but the energy will never lie to you. So following those invitations on what feels light and expansive, you can never go wrong with that. Next question I'd like to ask is what to watch out for? What to watch out for the month of June? And it was funny because before we started recording this reading, Peyton was kind of talking about some of the energies too, but I kept hearing light workers in particular. So those are you out there probably tuning into our videos or similar videos where you are doing energy work on the planet in some way, shape, or form. There's some type of healing work that you are here to do, whether it's grid work, whether it's readings, whether it's massage, different types of healings, different types of energy work. There is an energy, especially with light workers in particular, that is having you question your abilities. Should I be doing this anymore? Is this even worth it? Is it helping? A lot of the readings that I've been doing for people, they're really questioning the value that they bring to the world. And so something to watch out for in particular, and it's not just light workers, but it's going to be for the collective in general. When you are coming from a heart-centered place and in alignment, trusting that when you're following your heart's guidance and you're doing the best that you can, that is the way to go. When your brain starts going down the path of this isn't right, this isn't correct, this isn't working anymore, and you're paying too much attention to the outside world, you can start to question your value and your worth. So really watch out for questioning your value and your worth, especially for the month of June, because there is going to be a lot of energies. There is going to be an overflow of different dynamics and energies going on, and you might be questioning the value that you bring to the table. So you guys want you to watch out for that because it's not truth. It's not your actual truth. It's outside energy that doesn't want you to show up as bright and as big as you are here to do. So watch out for that. Last, any little helpful information for you, the collective. So if you want to finish off with anything else for you. This is another theme that has been gradually picking up steam that the ladies, we've been sharing for the last couple years, but you are your own guru. So your discernment, your intuition, your energy, your body, trust that above everything else. Take everything else with a grain of salt. Get that inner yes and that inner no. You are your own guru. Because what we're going to continue to see is maybe leaders that we looked up to in the past that we thought were in high vibration and alignment. We're seeing them fault. We're seeing the humanness of them. We're seeing them kind of getting swayed with energies that we do not align with. So do not put all of your power into some outside person, place, or thing. You are your own guru. So that is the message for June. Corey, what is in the astrology report?
Thank you, ladies. That was wonderful. By the way, we do have a video about gurus that we did probably, a couple years ago. So I'm sure one of us will tag it, and so that you can look at that video as well. So thank you, Yaila, for that. So here's the astrology for June 2025. I have to time myself. Okay, so I have to time myself. So we just a note. We have Saturn and Neptune in Aries now, and that's starting a new 30-year cycle. So we are in the energy of new beginnings, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. On the 9th of June, Jupiter, this is a big change. Planet Jupiter enters Cancer. So Jupiter goes into a sign for a year. So for the next 12 months until the end of June 2026, Jupiter, the expansion planet, will be in the sign of Cancer, which is water. And Cancer represents the home. So you might feel like you want to be at home more. Maybe you want to redecorate, spending time with family, because Cancer represents family and home. Cooking. Cancer is a very nurturing energy. You might even think about moving in with somebody. Maybe even marriage. This is also a time where babies are born or babies are being made. Cancer, that's the family. We also, too, because Cancer is a water sign, an expansion in intuition. The ladies were mentioning that, our intuition is going to heighten, and that's that Jupiter in Cancer. So it's a very mothering energy. So if you feel like, I don't really feel like going out much, I just want to stay home and nest for the next year, that's Jupiter in Cancer. And it's a very yummy energy. It's a wonderful break from all the energy that we've been having and that we're going to have. So home, focusing on home, and depending upon what house that this transit is in, is how it will affect you. So take a look at that. Mars enters Virgo on the 17th. That's our little of the month. Mars is that output energy. And Virgo's a wonderful sign. They're the perfectionists. But it has, because it's that output energy, just watch out for obsessing over things, details, being critical of others, and in particular, yourself. Virgo can be very critical, but they make like the best movie critics, book critics. Virgo's very good for that. So try and use this energy to be helpful and of service, because the higher vibration of Virgo is being of service and being very helpful. It's also about health and beauty. So Mars in Virgo, just watch out for being nitpicky. Or if people are nitpicky at you, go, there's that Mars in Virgo. I won't take it personal. And then on the 20th, we have the summer solstice. The sun is going to go into Cancer. So again, it's home and family and friends and food, hanging out by the pool or the beach. Cancer is water, and communicating your feelings. There's a great opportunity for healing any wounds or disagreements within the family or good friends during the month of June because of all this Cancer energy that we're going to have, and really for the next year. So it's really it's really nice because we've had a lot of division in our world, and so it's the opportunity to heal a lot of the past wounds and differences that we've all been experiencing, really. On the 11th, full moon in Cancer, full moon in Sagittarius. Woohoo! And the full moon is what we want to release. So Sagittarius is the philosopher. Sagittarius is higher learning. But Sagittarius can also be dogmatic in their beliefs. So if you find there is a dogmatic part of yourself, take a look at it and see if you're ready to release it. It's a great time to do it during this full moon in Sagittarius. It's a great time to let go. Just let go of things that are no longer serving you. You know, the ladies were talking about the 3D world, the people in the 3D world. And so really it's a good opportunity to let go. And finding the time to have really heart-to-heart talks with people. You know, this is a good big theme for June. And to embrace positive change. Sagittarius is, you know, they are the eternal optimist. And so we can release things that hold us back from creating a positive change for ourselves and for the world. And then on the 25th, we have a new moon in Cancer. Lots of Cancer energy. I have lots of Cancer energy and Aries energy for June. So this is it's what you want to manifest, that new moon. It could a new home. Do you want to manifest a new home? Maybe redo your home. It's a great time to manifest healing in the home, in nurturing yourself. Maybe if you haven't been nurturing yourself, this is a great opportunity to manifest a new nurturing self-care, self-love, and also for the family. So we have a lot of, like I said, we have a lot of Aries energy and a lot of Cancer energy in June. And it was interesting because I was thinking about this. Aries plus Cancer equals fighting for your home, because Aries is the warrior. So fighting for your home country. But like I always say, fight for love. Fight for positive change. I heard this quote from one of my favorite astrologers, Pam Gregory, and she said, try living from the inside out. What are you thinking about? What are you filling your mind with? As opposed to allowing the outside world to dictate your inner world. Try living from the inside out instead of the outside in. And I loved that, because when we're mindful of ourselves, our feelings, our body, our mind, what are we focusing on? It creates our outer world. So that is the June astrology energy update for this month. Ladies, anything else that you would like to add? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to each one of our channels. And all of our channels will be listed below. And enjoy the energy. It's going to be big. And until next month, bye for now.